you are moving your 3 girls and your wife into an RV for an indefinite amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it sound crazy when you say that?
I'd love to know what the listeners and viewers think about it, because
y'all leave a comment.
Am I crazy?
Daniel absolutely I mean, yes, but how crazy? Is it like an exciting crazy or like a psychotic crazy?
Maybe both.
Yeah,
because here's the thing. Obviously, we're going to save a lot of money.
You will save a lot of money.
A lot of money. And we're going to have a 5th wheel. It's not a little travel trailer.
Yeah.
We got one that has a massive bunkhouse. It's going to be parked in an awesome resort. You know,
yeah, it's got like pools, playgrounds, like basketball courts.
Gated community. So it's not like we're just gonna be, really roughing it. We're not camping. I hope.
Kind of.
I mean, I just learned how to dump a black tank. It should be good to go. I'm like YouTube certified with this now.
Yeah. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome back. Daytripper Podcast. It is August 2022. I am Chet Garner, otherwise known as the Daytripper, but let us not forget about the grand co-host on the leather couch, Mr. Daniel Mecey.
I am not the Daytripper.
You kind of are. I mean, if the Daytripper were more of a nebulous idea as opposed to a guy.
Okay, I'll take that.
Which it kind of is. It's sort of like Darius Rucker used to get really offended when you called him Hootie. Did you know this?
Yeah.
And it was like I'm
are
not
you Hootie or the Blowfish?
I'm not Hootie. Hootie is an idea. It's like, what? What is this? That's like, my brain can't even comprehend it. Of course you're Hootie.
Okay.
And the band is your Blowfish.
So we are the Daytripper.
We are the Daytripper. I'm not definitively saying that, but kind of, like it's sort of, we are an idea.
Let's wait until those paychecks come rolling in, and then you'll say if I'm the Daytripper.
Yeah, that's right. Like, if Daniel's a Daytripper, he should host. He should host the show. We got a viewer comment about that down the way.
Boy.
Not necessarily about you, but if I'm... Anyway, we'll get there. All right. Good. So shout out to the Daytripper World Headquarters. Y'all know, as podcast listeners, you get 20% off with the code podcast. So all kinds of stuff going on in there. As far as new products go, we still have, summer tank tops, turtle boxes are on sale. And the 20% off will be off of the sale stuff that's already there.
Check out this Texplorer shirt.
Texplorer shirt. We're stocking back up on sizing. And so if you've been waiting for a shirt, we apologize. But if you've been waiting for a shirt because they didn't have it in your size, we're stocking back up, baby. Always stocking back up. Because y'all buy the stuff, which we appreciate.
And send us emails. If we don't have the right size,
send us
let
emails.
Us know. We'll get more.
Yeah, we will. We will. Always. All right. Before we get into it, remember, subscribe, like, comment. All of those things help the podcast live on and thrive. So if you're watching on YouTube, bam, subscribe it, baby.
Where's the button?
Here.
There?
Touch. Somewhere in the sky. All right. If you're not on YouTube, you're on, whatever, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast. Y'all do us a favor, subscribe to the podcast, review it as well.
Yes.
Only 5 stars. No,
five only.
All right, whatever.
No bad reviews.
I'm not going to influence your reviews. You think what you think. All right. So August is a couple things. It's the hottest month. Like, we're rolling into what has been a brutally hot summer already.
I thought we said last time we weren't going to talk about Texas heat, though.
We're not complaining about Texas heat.
Okay, so we'll talk about it. We just won't complain.
Yeah, we won't complain like we didn't expect it. Like, man, it's hotter. Like,
okay,
no.
Well, in that case, do you really think August is going to be even hotter than July?
Yes. I mean, it is. Historically, you have to look at the data.
Okay, well,
it's been,
I think yesterday was like 106.
Yeah, it was like 108 multiple days in a row.
I can't do that, Chet.
Hey, no complaining,
I'm a
Daniel.
local Texas boy, and I can't do that.
So August, listen, you have my permission to stay in the air conditioner all August. All right?
That sounds good.
So you can stay inside. But summer is this is like the end of summer. Like, August, to me, when you hit August, it's like, wah, wah, wah. Because, man, I love summer. And I love my kids being at home, and then you get back into school, and summer's got its own form of chaos because no schedules. Kids are getting rushed between camps or whatever. Football not 2-a-days for my son is starting up. But then, there's it's always chaos spinning, but I love it. I kind of love it. And then when you get into the school year, yes, some things get easier because you got bedtimes and wake up times and all that. but I don't think it's as fun.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
So, like, some parents are like super pumped when summer's over. They're like, finally, some sense of like, schedule. But I don't know.
Our schedule gets harder when school starts. Summertime, it seems a little easier.
Well, your oldest is going to be cheerleading. Like, that's going to be like after school practices.
Don't
and all
remind me.
that stuff.
Don't remind me. Gosh.
Y'all go to Santa Rita Middle School. You can watch Brooklyn Mecey do a little cheering. That's going to be kind of awesome, though. And tell me,
awesome.
We've already got it on the books. The fight. There's a fight between.
Yes.
My son will be playing football. His daughter will be cheering.
Benold versus Santa Rita.
Benold versus Santa Rita. The grand clash of Williamson County middle school football. You know, if there's anything that rivals the Texas OU shootout, it's Santa Rita Benold. That is the one thing. Like football, you can almost taste it. It's there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pumped. Oh, man, I almost.
College football's
almost
where it's
taste
at
it.
for me, and I can't wait.
Sure.
We're getting there.
For sure. It's going to be a fun season for the Longhorns, but games don't start until September, so we'll save it for the September podcast. But like,
sounds good.
Quinn Ewers, Hudson Card, what's going to happen? We got a lot to figure out. And then my Bears up in Baylor, Shapen May got the starting role. He beat people. I mean, so we got a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of talent coming. A lot of talent.
Good. And people are saying Baylor is probably winning the Big 12, but OU's a little bit of an outsider. But then Texas, like maybe third or fourth, but that's a dark horse.
Last time I saw Texas on the list, they were like double digits. I was like,
and there's only
10 people in there, so I was like, wait, what?
How did we get to double digits?
I think we were like 5 or 6.
Oh yeah. The one I saw this morning was 4.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, anyway, hopefully you guys can squeeze out the very last bits of summer. Make a little trip. I was in the lake a couple days ago, and because we haven't had rain, it seems backwards, but I think the water clarity, at least at Lake Georgetown, is the best I've ever seen it.
Really?
Yeah, because nothing's flowing in and stirring things up, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Like, beautiful. So if you guys are going out on the lake, yeah, you've got like 100 more yards of shoreline, but the water that's there was really clean.
So you're saying it's like being in a bathtub, basically?
Yeah, it kind of felt like a warm bathtub. Yeah. But the clarity, I mean, it was blue, like blue. Oh, okay. Like honestly, pretty much floating. We were doing wake surfing. So like you're sitting there waiting for the boat to take off. Your feet are, 5 foot below you. Wow. And you can see your feet. Like it was really clear, clear.
That's cool.
All right. So let's fill them in. What you been up to since last podcast, Daniel?
Oh man, we're trying to just wrap up a lot of stuff for the summer because right now, like you said, it's getting hot and the days are long. So it's like, what all can we do? We're in the process of a move, which is pretty crazy.
Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we talked about that. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that. No,
John, you know what, producer? We just rolled. Did we talk about Daniel moving last month? He can't remember either. All right.
Well, here's my big adventure. My family's big adventure. So. We had the opportunity to sell our house for some crazy money.
Yeah, good hot market. You got the hot market.
The good thing is, I mean, you could sell your house, but where are you going to go?
That's why we haven't sold our house.
Well, I said, I've got a plan. And I told my kids we're getting an RV.
and so he's not joking, folks.
No, I mean, we can make it work.
I got no doubt y'all are going to make it work.
No, I don't know how long.
The nuts and bolts. You are moving your 3 girls and your wife into an RV for an indefinite amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it sound crazy when you say that?
I'd love to know what the listeners and viewers think about it because
y'all leave a comment.
Am I crazy?
Daniel absolutely I mean, yes, but how crazy? Is it like an exciting crazy or like a psychotic crazy?
Maybe both.
Yeah,
because here's the thing. Obviously, we're going to save a lot of money.
You will save a lot of money.
A lot of money. And we're going to have a 5th wheel. It's not a little travel trailer.
Yeah.
We got one that has a massive bunkhouse. It's going to be parked in an awesome resort,
Yeah, that's
it's
got
like
pools, playgrounds, basketball courts.
Gated community. So it's not like we're just going to be, really roughing it. We're not camping, I hope.
Kind of.
I mean, I just learned how to dump a black tank. It should be good to go. I'm like YouTube certified with this now.
Yeah.
I will say I've got a lot of family and friends that are doing this as well or have done it in the past, and they all told me not to do it. But they also told me if you're going to do it, here's how to do it.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
Dude, I cannot wait.
I love to travel Texas, and I love to be close with the family. And so now we've got a fifth wheel. Maybe we could do both. Who knows?
Yep.
I'm probably not going to pull it, though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the truck to pull it. It's big. So you bought it. They're going to park it there, and then it's going to stay put.
It's so big, I have to have it delivered. Yeah. Because, yeah, it's 16,000 pounds without us and all the extra stuff in it.
That's cool.
It's huge.
That's that. Yeah,
was that 8 tons?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God. We've got a lot of RVers that watch the show, and so like they're probably super pumped for you.
You know what? I want to give me some advice, people. I need to know, like, what do I need to do? Kidding. What don't I do?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Y'all got one shower though in that thing, right?
Well, it is a 2-bathroom. 2 bathrooms. But it's 1.5. So yeah, there's
2 potties, 1 shower.
Yes.
For 5 people.
So that's 2 black tanks I got done.
4 girls.
4 girls.
Wow.
4 girls.
That's dude.
And a big collection of
Stay
guns.
tuned, folks, as we watch Daniel's mind unravel slowly over the next few months of podcasting. Man, no, you're gonna have fun, man. You're gonna have fun. You got to just be ready to get there, though.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let everybody know how it goes next time.
Yeah. Cool. Well, here's one thing. I mean, I've been up to a bunch of stuff, like bouncing around. Got a lot of little speaking things and appearances, stuff like that I've done. Here was one thing that was super exciting for me. I got to have dinner with our first lady, Cecilia Abbott, and I were at a Keep Texas Beautiful conference together.
What?
And Cecilia Abbott, Greg Abbott's wife. It's the first time I've ever met her. We got to hang out with Greg in our Texas Capital episode. But this was his wife, who is, very instrumental in, Keep Texas Beautiful, beautification, small towns, all that stuff. And so she was, I thought, the guest of honor at this thing. And then I was the MC, so I was sitting by her. She's a wonderful lady.
That's
wonderful
awesome.
lady. But here was the awkward part. She had to introduce me. I was introduced by the first lady. I was like, they screwed that script up. There's no way the first lady's introducing me. But sure enough,
oh no,
she read my bio. I'm like,
that's a little backwards.
It was awkward. Is it awkward or flattering or both?
I had both.
Both kind of. I was like,
the etiquette's just not right.
Is that a new level of Texan Unlocked when the first lady is introducing you? But it still felt awkward. It's like, here he comes. I'm like, it's the first lady that just introduced me. But she is, I can't speak highly enough of her. She's great. Super friendly, very extroverted, and like just wonderful. Wanted to just talk, tell me about their daughter, ask about my kids. And then I was like, what I'm always curious is, like, we talked about, is she still keep another home? Because when you get the governor's mansion, but you don't really get the governor's mansion.
Oh yeah,
you're just kind of like living there, sort of in the top, because then you got,
of course, public
tours all the time in your living room. It's a weird deal.
It's a little strange, but it's also, they block off like a wing, There
is like a whole private quarters in the top.
It's like Beauty and the Beast when he says, stay out of the West Wing. Yes, exactly.
That's where something's up there with the Illuminati or the Masons. That's where they keep their holy
I think it was bigger than we think it was.
Yeah.
Possibly. That's my theory.
Right.
Elevator to the basement.
That probably like a whole underground bunker.
Maybe.
I was like, do you like living in the fishbowl? And she said she loves it.
Yeah.
Which I guess you have to. He did too. Like, but I feel like you would just feel like you were trapped.
Well, especially in Austin. I mean, there's no denying it's a much more liberal city.
Yep.
But the governor's typically more conservative in the state.
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely a fishbowl.
Yeah. And you got protesters outside all the time and like tours and all that. And she goes, well, it's a good thing I'm extroverted because, like, she goes, if I need to retreat, our private quarters is perfect. She goes, but if I want to talk to people, there's always a staff. So she goes, I'll go cook dinner with the kitchen staff.
Oh, wow.
And like, just because when it's got to be weird when you jump across that line and suddenly you've got people to do things for you that you have been accustomed to your entire life doing for yourself.
Yes.
Just to sort of be like, hands off. Like if I had a staff to cook my steaks, I'd be like, no. I got this. You're fine. Like, just kind of step away.
Watch and learn.
I wouldn't.
To get some of that hardcore carnivore black and just sprinkle that on top of the steaks.
Shameless plug for our friend Hardcore Carnivore.
Jess Prowse over there.
But anyway, that was a highlight of
No,
this
that's
past
cool.
month. It
I
was
mean,
fun.
politics aside, it's just always cool to talk
Yeah.
to these people and see kind of where they're coming from, the things they deal with.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating.
And they're just normal
It's really
people.
fascinating. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're really just normal people.
Yeah.
And so they just happen to have the right path to get to where they are, but they're all very, very common.
Yep.
So she was wonderful. All right. So we've been up to a lot, but so has Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
Okay, this is the part of the podcast where we bring a crazy story to you guys of something weird that happened in Texas. Daniel, kick us off.
Well, do you remember a few podcasts ago you were talking about, what was it, Texarkana? And there was fish that were raining
Oh,
from
yeah,
the sky?
the raining fish.
Raining fish. Well, there was a follow-up to that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of gross.
Wait, all
So-
right. So, yeah, but just to fill me in, there
Yeah.
was a day when it rained fish from the sky.
People thought it was a
And
joke, but it really
It
happened.
really did happen. And these weren't like, it wasn't raining
No.
tarpon. It was the, like little 3-inch fish, right?
There's some pictures of people like with a fish as big as their hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, some of them were big.
And the theory was that a tornado scooped them out of the
Yeah,
water.
like a water spout.
Water spout, and then they went up in the clouds, and of course they have gravity, so they fell back down.
Yeah. It turns out they're pretty sure they were regurgitated by a flock of birds.
Oh, gross.
So those fish were
Vomitus
possibly
maximus.
vomited.
Wait, so
Um,
the water, that actually makes more sense.
So have you ever seen a mama bird feed the baby bird? And
Oh,
it
yeah.
regurgitates.
Yeah. That's
so
right.
they
That's
basically
what I do
said,
with my kids.
Exactly,
I'm about to mama
exactly.
bird you.
well, the story that it's still speculation. Nobody saw it happen, but there are fish. Many of the fish are not in whole. So it
Yeah.
looks like they were bit at. Right?
Oh.
And so they're like, well, this actually, they have the theory that the birds use that so that they could fly away faster. Maybe they all went down in a flock, scooped up a bunch of fish, and as they're flying away, maybe something startled them or whatever it was, and they're like, oh, we got to get rid of this so we can get away.
Whoa.
And so in the process, all these people in Texarkana were vomited on by birds.
Oh, man.
Fish.
Vomitous fish. Pretty cool. Vomitous fishiest.
I love it. Look at John Mark laughing up a storm over here.
But that does make sense because, fish do. Like you watch a pelican. A pelican can eat like a 6-pound bass, and just bonk, bonk, and then go back and barf it back up. Oh, that makes sense. Pretty cool though. Like if these fish were like, we got to run faster, and then they're like. They're running, they're flying. But they're like, you could do that. Like, what's my 40-yard dash time? Oh, here, let me just vomit this burger. And then
See,
you
I like to
run
think that
faster.
they were probably up there and they're like, hey, Bob, watch this.
Oh, yeah,
got
we
him.
do it all at once. They thought our poop was bad. We're going to vomit all over them, too. Man, birds hate us.
What a
birds
crazy
could take
story.
over the world. I met someone the other day legitimately terrified of birds. Like, still. Did you watch
Birds?
The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock?
Oh,
when you were
absolutely.
little?
I made
And there
my
was a
daughters
period
watch
of
it.
time where like, but then you get over it. But this person's still, like an adult woman, still absolutely terrified of birds. Doesn't want to go anywhere around
How
them.
can you live
She
life?
thinks if they all turned on us, we would be dead in an instant because they'd come after us. Hey, they're the living, breathing dinosaurs.
What is it? The roseated spoonbill? I mean, some of those are kind of creepy looking. I will say.
They are. Well, this is random. Like, did you know that the deadliest bird? Well, one of the deadliest animals in the world is a kilawasi or a karawasi. It's this thing. It lives in Australia, like all deadly things.
Of course.
This has been a big topic of discussion in my house lately because my oldest daughter learned about this thing. Karawasi, I forget. But it's like emu-sized, but it kills people. And it kills over 200 people a year. Because
I've never heard of
it
this.
comes at you with these talons that are like 6 foot long, goes, and
It's
like
okay.
stabs you.
I think that was an exaggeration.
Karawasi. No,
6 foot long.
6 foot. Okay, 6 inches long. Sorry. That's very, all right. But they're like daggers. And okay. Karawasi, I think. All right. That's for another podcast. Look it up and
I'm gonna look that
you'll
up.
have a nightmare tonight.
What did you find?
Speaking of giant animals, let me introduce you to the new tallest dog in the world. Guinness Book of World Records. He is indeed a Texan.
Oh,
This
really?
is just certified. There is a Great Dane named Zeus from Bedford, Texas, who has set the record for the world's largest living dog.
Now, you talking about big or
No, not tallest.
tall when he's on all
biggest
four?
Is probably the wrong way. When he's on all fours, you measure from the paw to the withers. I had to look that up.
What is a wither?
It is the highest point of the shoulder blades.
Okay.
Highest point of the shoulder. So you don't get the head included.
Huh.
But from his paw to his withers, he is 3 feet, about 5.5 inches tall. So
Wow.
yeah, he's tall.
That's his back?
Yeah, that's his back.
So I'd be
right at the
sitting
shoulder
down,
blades.
you'd be eye to eye with his back.
Sitting down, you'd be eye to eye with his back.
Oh my
And when they
gosh.
stand up, they're well over 7 foot tall. But that's not how you measure dogs to see height. You measure to the top. And so Zeus, the article I read didn't say how much he weighs, but it's got to be 150 pounds or something like that.
Probably more than that.
And then he eats 12 cups of Gentle Giant's dog food every day. He's a 2-year-old Great Dane named Zeus. The largest dog ever, the largest dog ever, tallest by this measurement, has already passed, but was 3 foot 10 inches. So he's about 5 inches below this other record-setting dog. But he's only 2. I mean, he's probably full grown. But yeah,
who knows?
It's still.
Okay,
cool.
So you talked about
Monstrous.
people being scared of birds. I know a lot of people scared of dogs.
Dogs.
That would freak them out.
Yeah. That's not a dog. That's a horse. That's a small
you put a
horse.
saddle on that thing.
So pretty cool, though. Zeus, a 2-year-old Great Dane. Great Danes are, they're an interesting breed. They're so big, but they're lazy.
Lazy, usually very nice.
Oh, usually, yeah, just like little, like puppies.
Yeah.
I mean,
size can really intimidate people when it comes to dogs.
it's 7 foot tall.
But I also know like people have mastiffs and you see them and you're like, that's a walking bear. Like it just looks like a bear. But seriously, like again, kind of lazy. Most of them, they're just big and cuddly. They want to just,
Well, speaking of vomitus maximus, though, drool everywhere. Like my cousin had a Mastiff and another person had a Great Dane. Just constantly drooling on everything. Just like the jowls. Just, all right. Anyway, okay. Let's go ahead into the next segment, the Texas Music Minute. This is where we bring you guys an artist that maybe you didn't know about that was from Texas. So we got a big one today that I did not know was from Texas. You might have never even heard. If you're of my generation and older, you might not even know who this person is unless you have like a Gen Zer in the car that you're hauling around. But not only is this guy from Texas, he's from Georgetown, Texas.
Come on.
Let me introduce you to Conan Gray. Have you heard of this guy?
No.
All right. Conan Gray has blown up over the last year. He's done every show you can do. The Today Show. He's got a huge following, millions of followers on Instagram. YouTube has got, well over 4 million followers on YouTube.
How do I not know?
And I mean, so if you're listening to pop radio now, you're going to hear a Conan Gray song.
Okay, maybe I know his song and I just didn't know who he was.
You might know his song. Let's see. Maniac was his big breakout hit in 2019. He's only 23 years old now. And he grew up in Georgetown, Texas, graduated from Georgetown High School, started making YouTube, singing on YouTube. And then boom, next thing you know, he's got a record deal and it has been like just blowing up for him. He sings kind of like moody pop music.
Okay.
Your daughters, Olivia Rodrigo.
Of course.
He's the male version of Olivia Rodrigo.
Interesting.
But he's got kind of like curly, long hair, kind of androgynous, like maybe a Freddie Mercury type or something like that. Yeah, but his songs are kind of weepy and poppy. He's got a thing going on. Like wears a lot of flowy shirts.
You had me at androgynous.
Androgynous is a totally valid term to use for this guy. Look at pictures of him, you'll be like, yeah, he's kind of androgynous. But his songs can they can hit. They can get kind of poppy and fun. He just released a new album in June called Super Ache, and this is his latest single from that called Disaster.
All right.
Now, some of his songs, he's got kind of a high tenor voice. Some of his songs get kind of moody and weepy, like a heartbroken girl closing her door to her bedroom and just sitting there crying on her bed. Like some of them go that direction, but some of them kind of get a little bit poppier. This one, because it's his latest release, I thought I'd play it. It's probably closer to the poppier, happier side, which is cool. He does a good job. But here I give you Georgetown's own, Texas's own, Conan Gray and his song Disaster.
Set the scene. I just left the party at Blake's and it's Halloween. Had the keys to my car in my hand, but I didn't leave. Cause the potential of us, it was keeping me up all night long. All of the texts you won't read all night long. This could be a disaster. There's so many factors. Like what if you freak out and then we're losing it all at the critical chapter where I say I love you and you don't say it after. This could be a disaster. I'm pedaling backwards by saying that I'm drunk. I really shouldn't have called. I'm a little bit plastered. You call me a liar. Now I'm falling in faster. This could be a disaster. Lose my mind. Is it purely platonic to call me like every night?
All right.
I like it.
It's good.
It's awesome. And honestly, that's the kind of music I hear in my house all the time.
You've probably heard Conan Gray in the background.
Probably.
You just didn't know that he was a Texan.
Yeah. That's
Neither
awesome.
did I until I started looking today, and it was
That's really
like,
cool.
This came up, and not only that, I mean, he would have graduated. He's 23. Like he graduated while the Daytripper was already making shows here in Georgetown. So we should keep our eye out. He's probably just hanging around, eat some ice cream over there at All Things Kids.
Go hang out with him.
Yeah, on the Georgetown Square. No, pretty cool. I mean, huge success.
That's great for him. That's awesome.
Conan Gray has exploded. Absolutely exploded. All his videos, on hundreds of millions of views on a lot of his videos.
Hundreds of millions?
Yeah. I mean, he's got some that are over 100 million.
I am so out of the
Maybe not hundreds of millions, but yeah, 100 million at least.
Oh my
and yeah, he's blown up. And some of his songs, he's got a lot of songs pretty catchy. I dig him. All right. Now we're moving in. Questions from the back seat.
Are we there yet? Hey, can you pass me the snacks? When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Okay, this question comes from Ryan Jones. If you had to choose between Palo Duro Canyon State Park and Caprock Canyon State Park, which would you go to and why?
Ooh, this is a better question for you.
Yeah. Have you been to these?
I have been to Palo Duro.
Okay.
I haven't been to Caprock.
Caprock's cool.
But I mean, I know very well of both.
Yeah.
What do you think?
To give people some context or just some explanation, most people think of the Panhandle as like flat for infinity, and it's true. The great joke is it's really hard to lose a dog the hardest part when your dog runs away from home in the Panhandle is you have to watch him leave for 3 days as he runs away. I kind of butchered that, but you get the idea.
That's good.
And so it's that flat, but as you get just east of Lubbock and Amarillo, they call it the Caprock. And so the Great Plains just sort of crumble away into these beautiful canyons. And I mean, it is like a shelf. There's a dramatic shelf, and then the world just crumbles off. And it creates Palo Duro Canyon, which is the second largest canyon in America, and Caprock Canyon, which is another state park. But you have this, it's like this ribbon of red rocks that goes down the Panhandle. That's the Caprock.
Right.
And there's all kinds of towns on it. And there are 2 of our best state parks that are built on the Caprock. So if I had to pick between the 2, all right. Let me flush this out in my head because I didn't think about it. Palo Duro, second largest canyon. You got to see it. Breathtaking, stunning.
But
yeah,
I was gonna say, what do? You look at it.
You look at it. They got mountain biking. They got really good hiking. There's a rock structure called the Lighthouse, which is this huge, 300-foot spire that's there. That you can go hike to that. They have a play called Texas that happens in the evenings in this beautiful amphitheater in Palo Duro Canyon. So that's cool. You can horseback ride through it. Now, Caprock Canyon It doesn't have like the payoff view necessarily, but the cliffs are still as pretty. It's more chill. And then as the kicker, free roaming bison everywhere.
Yeah.
So the state bison herd is just turned to run amok in the park. It's like the Yellowstone of Texas. They're just roaming around. And so I've heard of plenty of people like, hey, they're sitting grilling a cheeseburger and all of a sudden a bison comes into their camp because they're just free roaming. I don't think people get gored in Texas like they do in Yellowstone, though.
By bison.
By bison. I hadn't heard about it, at least. So let's see. You can mountain bike in Caprock, too. I'm going to say, for the sake of the underexplored, I'm going to pick Caprock.
Okay.
I like Caprock. It is just as beautiful, and a lot of people like it better because it's more chill.
That's cool.
All right.
For the sake of arguing, I'm going to say Palo Duro.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're wrong. I could agree with you, but then
that's your opinion, but you're wrong as well. So okay,
that's right.
Whatever.
All right, here we go. Another one, and you will have an opinion on this.
Oh,
Patty Parsley Snipes. What's your favorite river in Texas?
Ooh.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Favorite river in Texas is probably the one I'm in at that time.
Yeah.
There's only a few that are like, why am I here right now? But I mean, gosh, are we only talking about big rivers?
Nah, you pick whatever you want.
Rivers? Man, we've been to so many. Okay, I'll tell you one that I personally have not been to.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to get there. Is Devil's River.
Oh, Devil's River's amazing. I even forgot about that one.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, that's not one that people would typically say, like, oh, this one. But, golly, that was
Devil's
beautiful.
River, most pristine river in Southwest United States. Flows into Lake Amistad out there by Del Rio.
But getting there.
Oh, it's remote. And you go on it, and you're probably, if you're going on it, you're there for a couple days. Just adventure. It's incredible. Incredible. I'm going to go with the Frio.
Yeah.
The Rio Frio, Garner State Park, just because I've been there every summer for my whole life. We didn't get to go this summer, but pretty much every summer we've been.
It is your state park. I mean,
you own it,
right? So
I'm sure every person whose last name Garner, like when you check in, can I get the family discount, please? And they just look at you and roll their eyes. It's Texas State Parks. It's like, oh, you've never heard that one, right? We'll go with the Rio Frio. Pristine, beautiful out there by Lakey and Concan. All right, here's one. This comes from the mayor. We got the mayor of Dodge City writing in.
Oh, wow.
Dear Daytripper, I'm just wondering if you have Bonham and Fannin County in mind for a future show, since our once ugly eyesore courthouse has been restored to its 1888 look and beauty. Makes for a very neat story. Sincerely, the mayor of Dodge City.
Cool.
Tim Davis. Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for writing in. I can't say I have those on my list. I mean, let's see. Fannin County, Bonham, north of DFW. I'm even having trouble placing where Bonham is. That's a fail of me. Here we go. Fannin County.
Chet, you're supposed to know
I know,
all this stuff.
I am,
Come on, you're the day tripper.
I'm right. It is on the Red River. It's on the Red River.
It's actually on Red. Okay.
Yeah, east of Sherman. You know what? That is one of the counties that I have never been to.
There's not many of those.
My list is shrinking. But it's like you're not. When's the last time you needed to drive between Sherman and Paris?
Exactly.
Daniel. So, for the sake of saying I've got to go to that county, yes, it is definitely on my list.
It will happen.
It's literally on a piece of paper on my desk that says you need to visit this county, Chet. So yeah.
I mean,
yes, Tim.
Let me follow that up with another question. Do you think at some point we're probably going to go to every county in Texas
probably,
for the show?
No.
So what county?
I've been to Ochiltree County, and there's nothing there in Ochiltree County. I mean,
because I guarantee you, there's like one person that lives there that watches the show, and they're gonna say, "Why haven't you come to Ochiltree County?"
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So,
well, last month or the month before, I went to Loving County.
Yes.
The least populated county in Texas. And let me tell you, there ain't no episodes going to happen in Mentone anytime soon. It's literally a courthouse and a gas station.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of oil fields. So anyway, there's a few of those.
There
Not
are
exactly tourist destinations. And we're trying to show people what to do.
Yes.
We'll probably go there just for the sake of going there.
Maybe
yeah,
so.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So there we go. Reminder, guys, if y'all have questions, please email them in. podcast@thedaytripper.com, or we are always scouring our social media. Leave a comment on this YouTube video or in the reviews of your 5-star review you're going to give this podcast. Sorry. I told you I wasn't going to influence your decisions. Anyway, but send your comments and feedback and questions in. All right, next up, not so much questions, just comments. Fan rants and musings.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you. Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
This was pretty cool. You remember filming in Waxahachie, Texas?
Of course.
All right. So there was a part in the episode. They have one of those love lock fences where you can, get a lock and you take the one you love out and you put it on the fence and, whatever. We put one on this fence with a secret combination. And on the episode, I said, hey, I'm going to leave this here for whoever can crack the code. Jacob Graham cracked the code.
What?
The Daytripper lock has been removed from the Waxahachie love lock fence. I don't know how he did it, or maybe he just stayed there all day typing in every code.
Holy cow.
But it was the date of when we were filming the episode, which they could have backtracked because social media was tagged, but it was the date of when we were actually there. Yeah. And he cracked it.
He got it.
Unlocked it. I guess he took it, brought it home. Maybe he changed the combo, put it back on the wall. I don't know. But he did send us a photo. Congrats, Jacob.
That's pretty cool.
You win. All right. Next up, we have Heather Hurley. This is kind of fun. Hi, Chet and company. Longtime viewer and listener. First-time writer. As a Wisconsin native who married into a Texas family from Houston, I want to thank you and the entire Daytripper canon. It's taught me a lot about the state and has given me lots of good conversation topics for family gatherings. If I had one complaint, it's that all the good food you show is hard for me to get to from my current home in Washington, D.C. I guess I got to start planning a visit. Via con Dios, Heather Hurley.
You know what? You need to plan a visit.
But isn't that cool watching from Washington,
That's really cool.
Washington, D.C.? Heather, I hope you're listening. Thank you so much for the comment. And, if you want to get on a Texan's good side, just learn a bunch of junk about Texas.
It's true.
And you're going to fill up any dinner conversation on earth with stuff about Texas. DC's got some pretty good food.
Oh, they have to.
Crab cakes, right? Isn't that kind of the thing?
Is it? I think DC
Maryland
probably has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you're right. Very international city.
Mm-hmm.
Very international city. But that's cool. Sorry, can't do anything about the distance though. So just come on down. You got family in Houston.
You know what? I would say places like Rudy's. I mean, you can get a brisket shipped to you.
Oh, that's true.
So
plug for Rudy's. Yeah. Rudy'sAnywhere.com right there. Bam. All right, this one comes from Madonna Kimball. Yes, Madonna is her name. So if you don't like Madonna, you're really not going to like this Madonna.
Okay.
She's from Wimberley, and it says this. Could be a great show without Chet's cartoon goofiness and thinking he's funny. Not entertaining. Period. Oh, Madonna, you cut deep. You cut so deep. Well, anyway, I can't finish these segments without at least one bad viewer comment. Right?
Is that the only one you have?
That's the only one I could find.
Oh.
Yep. But she did intentionally go on our Facebook page to trash us.
Okay.
Just to let us know. I don't like watching, but I'm watching anyway to find out your Facebook so that I can tell you how much I don't like watching.
It's a little bit of a troll move.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's the definition of a troll move. But
all I can say is there's probably a few other people that feel the same.
There's plenty of people who
maybe
feel
y'all
the
can
same.
start your own TV show.
That's the deal.
And you do it the way that you like.
Yep. Hey, we're not for everybody. We've never pretended to be for everybody. So Madonna, if you don't like fun, you probably won't like our show.
She sounds like a boring person. My goodness.
We're doing what we want to do, and it's not a very traditional travel show a lot of times, and that's by design. That is by design. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this month's podcast. Thanks for the viewer comments, feedbacks, questions. We love them all. Remember, podcasts will get you 20% off in the Daytripper World headquarters. That implies in-store and online. I was out there one day. A guy walked in, heard the podcast. He's like, I know the code. Podcast. I said, tell the lady. Anyway, Join us next time. We're going to have all sorts of good stuff. As an added special this month, stay tuned. We are going to have the hosts of BarbaQuest on the couch for both a live stream and a random mid-month podcast, we believe. We're working on the details of this. BarbaQuest is the Texas Beef Council's television show all about barbecue. So if you like the Daytripper, but you wish we did nothing but eat barbecue, this is the show for you. All right, remember, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Shout out to John Mark, the producer over here on the Mixmaster John Mark. Anyway, say our goodbyes, Sam Daniel.
See y'all next time.
And vai con Dios, amigos.